You know, I was asked to make this video because of everything that's going on. And don't believe it is quieting down just because you don't see Pelosi and Schumer. Uh, that's that's when people are most dangerous, is when the snake settles down and recoils. That's the time that you have no idea when it is going to strike. Uh, I ask everybody, I don't care if you are a registered Republican, registered Democrat. It matters not to me. The reason that I say that, I have proved over and over. Most of the people, they were always so stunned, a couple of years ago when, my God, Trump tried to do something, and they said, my God, what has happened to the Republican Party? They're not fighting. They're not trying to stand behind Trump. I made a point at one time, a couple of years ago, actually 5 years ago at one time, is listen, if you people don't think that it really happens like this, you have not seen the world like I have. I have seen things. I don't mean that I'm smarter than you. Some of it I wish I wouldn't have seen. But let's say that a person is going to run for office in a district. Let's say they do an investigation, so to speak. Now they do the research. The data's all there. And it doesn't make a mistake. If that person looks at it and says, that state, that district right there, 90% of the time, a Republican wins that. Call me stupid, but do you think that person would register as a Democrat? If you believe that, you believe that she didn't know about the Benghazi assassination. I just don't get it. I'm baffled sometimes. Sometimes I'm not. I knew it's coming. I know it's coming. And I look at it and say, really, people? There's plenty of people that are registered Democrats that believe in a Republican Party state. But they don't ever say that because they'd like to stay in office. I know. You think I'm full. Hey, that's okay. But think about it. I always tell everybody, quit arguing with each other. Just put on your thinking cap. Don't do something because your brother told you to do it, your dad told you to do it, or your compadre at the coffee shop told you to do it. Try to think logically. When you look at something that happens that under the falsification of, so to speak, news, is when you see something, use your logic. I mean, it's so obvious. You don't have to have rocket science intelligence. Just look at it and say, okay, do I think this because this happened? Well, the logical answer would be this. Yeah, but my buddy told me that can't possibly be. I want you to think logically and be analytical when you're looking at something. Take it apart. Look at the pieces, then put them all back together and say, I mean, it's so obvious there, but my friend, don't deviate from the logic. If you'll do that, I think you would be surprised at what is really going on. Why are you people still convinced, some people, that Comey is innocent? How can you possibly believe that? The evidence is laid out there. How do you think Mueller is? I mean, if you can't see the cover-up, it didn't even have a good lid on it. I mean, I don't know if they put a lid on it, because when you're at the top, you're bulletproof. You really believe that. I believe most people, I didn't say everyone, most people have never seen money and power like that. I'm not proud to say I have. You would not believe what money and power can do. Now, yes, you'd say, yeah, oh yeah, I know that. But that person wouldn't do that. You're starting to see governors, mayors, congressmen. And remember, this is just when you're finding out something that took years to be uncovered. I want you just to think logically. I don't know when God's going to take me, but I feel sorry for my grandchildren, my children. If there's anything that I care about, it's that. You know, I was not a perfect guy. I was not a perfect husband. I was not a perfect father. I wish I could turn things. I can't. But people, if you start thinking in a logic manner, I think so many things that you're confused with, you could clear the air. You'd say, I know 15 people told me this, but man, it doesn't make any sense. You know, when people said, oh, I know that looks like that person did that, but if it looks like a duck, it sounds like a duck, in all probability, it's a duck. Come on, people. You're an American. You're supposed to stand. How are we allowing the scum of the earth? Yes, it's their God-given right. They want to burn a flag. What would you associate with someone with that? You know, just because somebody is exercising the right, the irony is the flag and the men and women that gave their life for our freedom, it is represented in that flag, and you feel as though you have the right to burn it. But how did you get that right? That's, again, logic. Why do you think that you can do something so disrespectful, so ugly, inspired by evil? That's not because it's your right to do that, and you want somebody taking a picture of you. That's how you want to go down in infamy. People, you have to try to turn back to God and become a real, true American again. Find out who represents you in the Electoral College. Why do you think they want to get rid of it? Do you believe, from what you've seen, how the American people, I'm not saying everyone, but quite a number of people in America, what has happened? Do you think for the most part, out of 360 million people, most Americans are qualified to vote, and that's the president that should be? People, go talk to your representative in that district, that who will represent you in the Electoral College. I think you'd be surprised. I think you'd be surprised at what they believe in. And I know what you're going to say. If it's a politician saying it, well, look at all these guys. Free everything. Free this. Free that. Logic. Try to use logic. Do you really believe it's going to be free? Do you really believe that you're going to have free health care, free education, $20 an hour for an uneducated person to flip burgers? And again, that's just one case scenario. But you mean the state of mind, the education level that America is in, and you don't want anyone to go to college? Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. Socialism. Study it. Study it again. Use logic. Thank you, and God bless America.